Time now for our Sunday Roundtable, and we're joined by Democratic analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican analyst Rob Gray. Thanks for joining us, guys. Here we go.
So we ended 2018 with a major sexual harassment scandal in the state Senate. We start 2019 with one in the House. Representative Paul McMurtry of Denham is accused of grabbing the backside of a female legislator at a House orientation reception in December. Anyone surprised, Rob?
I'm not. I mean, it's continuing in government, legislatures, and business, right? And in all places. And as much attention has been put on the issue, you know, Me Too is not a 2017 or a 2018 issue. It's a continuing issue.
But considering all the attention that's been paid over the last year, not only in the political arena, but every other arena, are you surprised, Marianne?
It's stunning and stupid and wrong. The fact is, you already have the account of the victim. You have an account by the eyewitness. McMurtry is chair of the Personnel Committee, and your aide had to be removed and departed from service because of bullying. Really? Come on. So, you know, enough's enough. This should be dealt with firmly, fast, done, over now.
Let me just say for the record, in the Globe story the other day, he denied it. So let me just say for the record, that's what he told the Globe.
But my question,
mistaken identity.
The second question out of this is, does this really put House Speaker DeLeo on the hot spot? And
sure.
How he reacts and how he does it.
Spotlight's on him. Spotlight was on the state Senate, is still on the state Senate.
Right.
And you know, it's going to be tricky for him to navigate, no question about it.
And does DeLeo have to step forward and do and say something relatively soon about
It needs to be addressed now.
No questions.
No question.
All right, question two. Issue two. Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh had a moment in a State of the City address that gave everyone a chuckle. Here it is.
Governor Baker and I are going on a road trip. Instead of building walls, let's show them how to build bridges.
Of course, that road trip would be to Washington. So do we forget sometimes that Governor Baker's a Republican? You know, Baker makes a point of blaming both Democrats and Republicans for the shutdown. Is he right?
Well, at times, Baker seems almost nonpartisan, but on the shutdown, he is wrong, and the blame falls squarely. This is not a both sides issue. This is a Donald Trump Republican Mitch McConnell issue. The fact is, Trump is unpopular, pushing an unpopular wall and an unpopular shutdown. It has nothing to do with immigration, nothing to do with the wall, everything to keep his base happy because he wants to hold on to the White House with Mueller coming. That's what this is.
That'd be a fun road trip to be on, wouldn't it?
I mean, sounds like fun, right? Just like maybe they can make a documentary about it, like one of those buddy movies, right?
That would be good.
Put a GoPro camera in the car, right?
We'll have to come up with a clever name. We've got to come up with a nice, clever name for that.
But listen, I think Baker's right on the facts, and he's right on the politics, blaming both parties. I mean, he's made his name here by being a moderate, speaking out against Republicans and Democrats when he thinks that they're wrong. And I think Pelosi has started to engage in cheap shottery with the State of the Union thing and other things on the shutdown. And she has to remember her popularity is lower than Donald Trump's, and Congress is even lower than hers. So when she takes cheap shots at Trump, she revs up her base, but I'm not sure that she helps the nation as a whole.
First of all, the fact is Nancy Pelosi is more popular than Donald Trump. Period, full stop. Second of all,
how about Congress? Congress' popularity is in the teens.
But what are you going to do? Give Donald Trump a platform to get up there and say the State of our Union is shut down? Really? Why? He already gave his address a few weeks ago with the networks. It failed. Now they won't give it to him again.
It's because it's tradition and presidents of both parties have been
Franklin
treated
Roosevelt,
fairly by Congress throughout history.
You can provide it in writing. And that until the government opens up, this is not normal business.
What about security? Is that just an excuse, Marianne, Rob?
It's a total red herring.
It's a reason, not the reason.
Seth Moulton is headed to New Hampshire in a couple of weeks to talk politics with the Bedford Democratic Committee. He says he is not running for president. What do you say, Rob?
I don't think he's running for president. I think he's running for vice president. He's dipping his toe in the water. I think he wants to be the choice if the right person gets nominated.
Marianne.
Whoa! Here's the problem for Seth Moulton. If women voters are mad at you, and they're really mad at Seth Moulton because he opposed Nancy Pelosi as Speaker, you're not going to win a Democratic primary for president, U.S. Senate, your own congressional seat, and no one's going to pick you to be VP. That's the problem. He's got a problem he can't fix. He may be trying to run for president to try to fix his congressional problem. He'll end up empty-handed, 0 for 4.
But you don't deny that's what his ultimate narrative is by going to New Hampshire.
I'm confident he's trying to run for president.
And I'm confident we have to go to commercial right now. See, we have that in common. See,